What should a student look to learn from their co-op experience?
I think while working at Enbridge, they must enjoy their experience of this learning journey. If someone has worked for 8, 12, or 16 months as a co-op student, it's a lot of time to get accustomed to how a department in a corporate functions
Mhm.
and what part you play to generate results that are aimed for the team. It also allows them to apply at Enbridge for a potential contract or a full-time role once they graduate.
Hope students can learn a lot. So I think they should expect everything and try to get the most out of their co-op experience. Of course, they'll get the real life work experience. Again, for a lot of them, this is their first professional job, so they can get a good feel of that. But the co-op is really what they make of it. If they go there, just do their tasks that they've been assigned and not look for additional work, then that's all that their co-op will be. But if they go in there, they want to explore more, they want to see if they can take on more tasks, they can definitely do that as well. And Enbridge is really good at supporting students when they do that. An example which comes to mind is, I believe last year there was 5 co-op students who wanted to do a little extra project, and they wanted to make an introductory welcome to Enbridge video made by students for students. And that's something that they thought of themselves, went out, sought out the right resources, got the right permission. They were able to make that video, and now that video we use for our first day orientation for all new students.
What are the common application mistakes that you find candidates making when they apply?
That's an interesting one.
Mhm.
Applying to too many roles and also to those which may not be relevant to their program. So our recruiters help the student to identify top 3 to 4 roles that they must focus on and with which they could benefit most during the work tenure.
Mhm.
We evaluate which roles is most appropriate to their area of study and advise them to stick to those. Apart from this, there are some errors made while filling the application questions. And once a recruiter follow up, we come to know that it was not answered properly. So we advise them read the questions carefully and provide the answers in a best suited way.
Okay.
There's some really funny mistakes that applicants do make. One of them is not uploading their resume, which is hilarious. They actually upload a different document or their cover letter, not their resume, which is fine. We always just message them like, hey, do you mind just uploading your resume? Sometimes they make mistakes on their application questions. So one of the responses for the co-op jobs that we have is, hey, are you enrolled in a co-op program? And sometimes they say no, which then we just do a little check-in, like, hey, we noticed you said no, and they're like, oh, sorry, I misinterpreted the question, I meant yes. Sometimes when we're messaging them on live hire, emails do go into their junk folder, so sometimes they miss messages. So definitely a lot of students know, hey, check your spam or junk folders, because an email might go in there. That's not too much of a mistake, but it's definitely something that happens, and they miss messages or communications from us.
Mhm.
But those are all the ones I could think of right now.
I have one last question. So, say a student wants to get into this Enbridge Student Contractor Program. When do they start applying?
So we have roles for September, all year round. So there's September start date roles, January start date, and May start date roles. So it definitely all the start dates coincide with school semesters.
Mhm.
So roles are posted kind of all year around. The May intake is the largest, and we start recruiting for that November, December time. For January roles, we kind of start September, October, and then for September start date roles, they start in May, June.
So our hiring cycle will begin from October, where we start connecting with the leaders for the intake call and work on the job description. The roles will be posted at the university career page from December of this year with the start date in May 2025.
All right. Thank you so much, Abhishek, for your time.
Thank you, Lakshmi.
Thank you so much, Kiran. Thank you so much for being here and sharing your expertise.
No worries.